Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine, irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello and welcome to the 244th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, here on Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today, along with Mark and Elias. And I think we're ready to begin today's presentation with members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's show. So let's get that underway.
Yes, thank you, my dear Rick. Here I will say, Salam, Namaste, beautiful souls. Love, always love to you, to everybody. So welcome, 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 Suswagatam to the beautiful, beautiful energy and totality of one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. And welcome to the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Welcome to the beautiful energy of knowledge seekers and truth seekers of the world. And welcome to the beautiful energy of beauty and totality of all universal souls, as we are all universal. So I will say some few words that, there is, yes, there is no such thing as magic. Well, the magic is an illusion of an illusionist, the Maya, the illusion he creates, and that goes away like that. And there is no such thing as God particle. If there is a collider, then the collision destroys everything. But here we talk about creation, elevating the soul in peace. So I will say that when we say there's no such thing as superhero, there is no such thing as supernatural. So everything is so much natural. Just we have to understand that we are all always, as my Messiah Shriman M. Keshe said, we are the part of the Creator. Never was separated. So it is. So we have to understand that really, real, we are natural, in a way, universal. So we have to understand the strength from within we have to create, to elevate all souls for peace. We elevate. And this is the way, in a way, well, the created matter that has been from eons is, in a way, also created. But then, as we know, the matter always get destroyed in a way. But here, here in the plasma, fundamental plasma or dynamic plasma or soul of man, soul of physicality and soul, universal soul, we say that we create because the decay is there. So here I will say that time is here now as the process of decay or transformation, you can say, to create the new has already began from eons. And we were a part of it consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly. But be, as we are always a part of the Creator. We are never alone. So here are some few words. Through the beauty of the soul of diversity of the languages spoken on planet Earth, all souls are as equal and all are as creators, my dear, as they are created in the image of the Creator. And this is not supernatural. This is natural. So, and I will say, Salam, Namaste, salute again. Thank you so much. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Here I will invite my dear Mark. Can you, with your beautiful voice, read the wish? Beautiful wish. My dear.
Sure. These are wishes put together by the Universal Council, I think, and we're really trying to convey the wishes of the soul of humanity. And when I first heard of wishes, I said, gee, that's for children, make wishes. Adults, maybe they make a wish, but they actually go out and physically do things to make the change happen in the matter state. But I think we're learning collectively that we can change things through the energies of our energies, or our center, or some people on this planet refer to it as the soul. So this is the way the Universal Council is working. We're not going out there and writing letters and having a mass campaign or holding placards or demonstrations and organizing groups. We're changing things through the energies of our soul collectively as the wish to leaders from the soul of humanity. This is the way I'm seeing it. And the Universal Council is a way of delivering those wishes from the soul of humanity. So here's the first wish. I'm privileged to read it. We, the Universal Council, wish that all souls have equal access to the knowledge of the Creator. And I like to say our wish is our command.
I am and we are present, my dear Mark. Now we can go to the next wish. There's a 3 wishes. Here, my dear Mark.
Okay. We, the Universal Council, wish to elevate the souls of all Sepa Postarian for them to do the right action for peace, harmony, and wisdom for all Iranian in Iran. Again, I say, our wish is our command.
I am and we are present. There's another wish, my dear.
Okay. This is the third wish from the Universal Council. We, the Universal Council, give from our energies to elevate the soul of Moses and the souls of the tribe and the children of Moses. Our wish is our command.
I am and we are present. Thank you, my dear Mark. Beautiful wishes. As you said, yeah. Thank you for being in the wishes, my beautiful souls. This is so in love, like the mother. She always wishes. Here is, I will say, 5 minutes of silence, because many beautiful souls think like this. I mean, they want that like this, or their need is like this. For the elevation of the, as we elevate all souls to create peace. So here, the elevation is so much needed now. And we can see the whole world is getting a kind of elevated. So maybe there's a chaos, but truth is coming out. For the elevation, 5 minutes of silence for the elevation of the souls of the 5+1 peace negotiators, the souls of the IAEA, all souls working for peace in Vienna, the soul of humanity, the souls of world leaders and religious leaders of planet Earth. So we will take 5 minutes of silence, and the minutes begins now. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here, for being present on behalf of all the love always. And I will say, we can, when we take this silence, we can understand the space between this time, and these are timeless. We can understand. So thank you so much, and salam, namaste, salute. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Here is the One City, One Center. Is Stefania here?
Don't see Spania right now.
Okay. Anybody wants to share anything in this One City, One Center? You're welcome, my dear beautiful souls. Well, I will say,
maybe,
yeah. Oh,
maybe I can talk a little about.
Thank you.
This the car thing that I started talking, kind of did a part one of it. So perhaps we can do a little bit of that and explore a few things in understanding the application of plasma science through a familiar object. And so there are some strange experiences in the sense that, when you put these coils in the cars, it's not maglev, I'm just simple coil I used. And what happens is that many of these people don't know about plasma science, and some of them don't even know about, the cars. So what happens is that they give it to a mechanic. The mechanic sees this strange device and takes it out. And so there's one such a friend of mine. I did this to a friend of mine, and he was getting fuel efficiency improved, and it improved like about 20-25%. It was relatively modern car. I think it was a Honda CRV or something like that. So anyway, so the mechanic or the people who were servicing the car took the coil out, and and then he said, well, it improved, but then now it's dropping. But it took a long time. So I went and checked for the coil, and it wasn't there. So I said, what happened? It's no longer there. There were two coils, and one of them we could see in one of the inside the engine compartment, and in one of the grooves there was one fell there, the other one is just missing. So I asked him, what happened? He said, no, I don't know. I said, did you take it to service the car or somewhere? Yes. And so he mentioned a few months back. So what happens is that when you people see these strange things in the engine and they take it out, but the performance does not drop immediately, but it did drop in this case, but it was only there for a few months. So there was partial nano coating. That's my guess. And then after that, it did not nano coat any further. And the nano coating was such that the environmental factors slowly affected. This is my guess. The reason I'm saying this is that this is a different experience that I have which is with the car in where I am in Bangladesh now. I don't drive this car myself, rarely, I do sometimes. But this was, the performance was, there was a considerable improvement, partly because some of the experiments I do near the garage. But interestingly, at one point, there was some big problem with the engine. And but the coil was there for like year and a half, 2 years, more than 2 years actually. And it's not just the coil, I'll tell you more about it later. But so the engine was taken out, the new engine was put in the car, and the coils weren't there, it's no longer there right now. But the full efficiency has not dropped. There's nothing, nothing plasma in the car. But even after changing the engine, the performance hasn't gone down. That's what the guy who drives the car more often is saying. And the one of the interesting thing is that what happens is that because of the nano coating, there's the steering feels lighter. It's the person who drives the car he said that it's like flying, as if like the car is not quite on the ground, which is true. You feel everything is very light. But the interesting thing is that the car was sufficiently nano coated, and even after swapping the engine, which is a new object, combustion, where the firing is happening, the performance did not drop. And so the nano coating that was in the car also affected the engine. Started affecting the engine. So the performance was not just because of the engine, but the rest of the nano coating. And this is one very interesting part of this particular example. The person who drives the car is not interested about doing the soul level things and stuff. But this thing is that once something is nano coated well enough, the performance does not drop, even when there is nothing there. But in this case, there has to be another thing that has to be considered, is that I run a lot of experiments with reactor systems, and that one is nano coated, and it had the GANs from it has the same GANs that I used in some of the reactors. So the plasma circulation exists in that car, even though nothing plasma is, no plasma material is there. But there are other systems nearby in which there are circulations of various kind going on, and the car itself is still the plasma hybrid it was. We haven't measured the economy figure lately after the engine swap, but the person who drives the car says no, it's still the same. Nothing has changed. We don't have to put anything in there. But one of the things that is noticeable, this is it didn't happen to the other cars I did, but in this cars, the battery, the terminals get deposits very rapidly. And if we don't clean it, the battery disconnects. So this is one of the things that continues to happen to the car, and it's as if there is a lot more flow going on through the battery, which wasn't there before this plasma treatment. But throughout this time, this car had plasma going through it. It had this, so it requires a little bit of maintenance in that sense. But this car is different because there are other systems running in its proximity. So there is a garden next to it where there are reactors which actually form plasma flow around the garage. So are they affecting it? Probably. So these reactors are for for the trees in our yard to not get bugs, but some of the GANs are the same. So does it affect the car? And because the plants are getting benefit from it. So it's a very we haven't done, let's see, sort of like methodical experiments, but some of these things can be derived from our experience that that we are affecting not just one thing. So this brings us to something like, as we are able to engage our fields, and something that is attuned to our fields can respond easily to it. Of course, there are people those who, people get attached to their cars and things like that. And do they function better when they get, of course, when they get attached to their cars or whatever, they take care of it. And sometimes we attribute the car's performance to the taking care of it. But maybe even without the application of nano-coating and GANs, we are benefiting from a level of connection that we never acknowledged. And so, yes, we can do better with applying some of our understanding of GANs and nano-coating. But if we go deeper into the material, we have the atom and then electron, protons, and these are themselves plasma. So how do we reach to just individual atoms in the metals of a car? Wouldn't it be close to what we do when we are able to heal ourselves with our thoughts at the cellular level? What is the difference here? It's another level of, lower field or smaller fields. But as we develop the confidence to, let's say, specify that level of fields, can we not do it? So this is not so much a question as much as a confidence, a building of confidence that we do have the ability. Like, the cars we like function better. Is it because of the relationship between the car maybe we did not acknowledge this particular thing. Even human relationship, if we don't nurture it, things fall apart. Would it not be the same if it's a material object? You know, there are wealthy people, they have a lot of things, but there is often no relationship or link. Some, you know, some do, and some, you know, have a garage full of cars and they're always there. You know, those kind of people do exist. They have a love affair with this whole thing. But many don't have that kind of level of link. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I'm coming back to here more of more to the theme of the Universal Council. And so we can care for things, care for the planet and all the people of the planet, just like we care for all the cells in our body. Then that relationship develops and gets nurtured. But if we don't care about any of these, we are in this isolated field of ours, which does not impact others at various scales, from atomic to cellular to the level of individuals on the planet or beings on the planet, maybe even to the stars that we look up in the sky. And we do, once again, this relationship. Some of us, you know, we go up at night, in a clear night, we look up at the stars. Is that our link, our love affair with the stars? Can we influence those? You know, we have, you know, various, you know, astrology, for example, the planet influence us. Maybe we can do the other way too, or the stars. So, you know, it's, in a way, our caring, our love for whatever there is, cell, atom, stars, doesn't matter. For we are universal beings. Anyway, this is some thoughts. There might be another part because I have some more things to share about this in another time. But for now, I think this would at least let us think in a slightly different way and you know, and enjoy our universality. With that, thank you.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. And the love affair you said, it is so beautiful. Our universality is always a love affair. And I will share a little bit story about it. It's real. As I have my neighbors with beautiful gardens. They say that is beautiful. I love trees and plants and gardens and all, but they are so much groomed that you cannot feel the way they want it. And to enter there, it makes me sometimes, you know, I don't want to go there, kind of that. But there is a rural area crossing the road in front of us. What they do, there was a person, I am very familiar to them, you know, I love to go there. And there was a family, Patidar family, and they were very poor on the earlier days when the Britishers were there, and very poor condition. But the man, the Patidar, the first Patidar, the father was given by a man a German tractor made in Germany. And and what happened is, his father has cared for this gift, the tractor. He used it very I mean, he didn't use it more, but he loved this tractor. And still his father is now not, he's dead, and the son is also of my age, and he's also with the love with the tractor, you know. And when we go to their farm, he says, Shweta, you want to ride the tractor? I said yes. And whenever you ride the tractor, you feel the love affair. As Moshfik said, he was so well groomed, so much old tractor, but as like the tractor is saying to you something, you know, that they love me so much. Like you will feel the vibes of the tractor when you're sitting on the tractor. And he all in between, when we are riding the tractor, he'd ask always, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? I say, I'm feeling so much love, you know, it's so much lovely tractor. And as because like him, I also feel that the tractor is saying to us something. And there is, as you say, Moshfik, there's a love affair, and he cared for the tractor so much. And this tractor is just glowing in the farm, and all the farmland is glowing because of the tractor, I will say. And they always proud of the tractor, and like a being, they treated the tractor. And the tractor, the vibes of the tractor are real, you know. I felt that. I felt when I was riding, I was standing beside the tractor, and like I always feel good, you know. When I was standing touching the tractor, I felt good. The ancientness, the oldness of the tractor, it's so beautiful. So here is the love affair, you know. It a metal, a stone, anything, I will say. So here I can say the love affair is that. And this is not about that, you know, that we have to understand the whole physics and that, but this is the way our science work, the science of love works in a way. So you beautifully said, Moshfik, a love affair always. So in plasma, as we are plasma beings, we always feel the love, you know. Even in a garden, we don't go. Why? It is so perfectly groomed. Even the rose is there growing, they cut the rose, you know, because they want a shrub, round shrub, a tall shrub, and that. But the naturality is gone. But the trees and herbs are the plants are natural, but they just cut their naturality out. And when we go to this natural way, even a tractor that is naturally, I mean, loved by the owner, or I will say loved by the lover, it glows in a way and it talks to you. So this is the way things in our dimension works. So we all have to be a lover and we have to feel. So welcome. Anybody wants to share anything? Any beautiful soul? Please do. Welcome. Or any question to Moshfik? Ask anything? Anybody want to ask Moshfik anything? You are welcome. If there is no sharing or asking, I mean, so can we go to the next slide, my dear Rick? Here is the call to all knowledge seekers, all universal souls. And I call Diane first to share her dream, beautiful dream. Diane, welcome, my dear.
Hi, Shweta. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you. I'm Diane from Canada. I had a dream when I was little, and I just wanted to share it because I relate to this dream. I carried it with me. I had it when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I carried it with me my whole life. And it finally made sense with the Keshe teachings and like the pool and the GANs and everything. Anyways, I'll share the dream and you'll get what you get, I guess. Okay. I was about 5 to 6 years old. It was the late 1960s. My father had recently put in a swimming pool in the backyard. I shared a bedroom with my sister that overlooked the pool. I had a cold or ear infection or something. I went to bed complaining I could hear someone breathing. It was my own breath, but it sounded like someone else's. I'm thinking I went into some kind of trance from the rhythmic sound of the breathing. Lying on my side in my bed, I could see into the small upstairs bathroom and the hallway that led to the stairs. And then all of a sudden, an old woman sitting with a cane and a shawl was in the bathroom watching people come up the stairs one by one. And when they reached the threshold of my room in front of the old woman, they would just disappear really quickly. I couldn't see my dad, but I knew he was coming up the stairs in the lineup, and I feared he too would disappear. Then the old woman said, "I will let you go if you run around the world and jump into the pool." In my state of anxious fear, I sensed a little elf-sized guy behind me on my right, smiling and giggling, and it was then that I jumped out of bed and rushed to the window that overlooked the pool and looked south down a valley from which way my father was coming. And crying, I said, "My father is coming," and I drained the pool. And that's when I woke, and my mom had heard and come up the stairs and calmed me down and everything. But it was very strange. And I see it as the people coming up the stairs like were reincarnations of lifetimes. And then what was coming, my father was coming, that would be God or whatever. And I had to jump in the pool. And what Keshe speaks of jumping in the pool, he talks about the pool, the GANs pool, and like in the video. And I don't know, the point is I needed to submerge myself in the teachings and everything. Anyways, that's my dream and that's what I have to share. So thank you for listening. Sorry for the roughness of my presentation. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, my dear Diane. Thank you for your beautiful sharing. And there is no roughness. There is so beautiful. You mentioned the water you jumped in as your father was there. So beautiful. As we say, in the John Lennon song, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." We are all dreamers. Here I will say, anybody wants to share anything more beautiful, Diane? Anything more, please do share. And this is the call to all knowledge seekers, my dear beautiful souls. Let's together create the peace dome all over the planet. Use the plasma water for your cups of life 1 and 2 to make the plasmatic spraying and spray your soul, elevate the whole world, the cosmos. And you can join it at Sunday, as the whole world, or all knowledge seekers from whole world is joining at this time. I will say precisely, in a way, it is 24 hours anytime, but then Sunday is a special for this time, and it is about 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. CEST, and anybody can join and spray. And here we can say, spread your soul as we do. And welcome, my dear ones. Welcome to this beautiful world of souls, beautiful souls. And welcome to, if there is a share you want to share, and you are a lover, you have to share something. So thank you. Welcome.
Hello, Shweta. Hello, everyone. This is Jacko.
Jaco, hello, my dear. Welcome.
Hi. I would like to add as well as what Mashfek says, and as well as what Diane said. In the beginning, when I made the ganses, I also used them in my bath, my tube I have. And I noticed that the absorption of the body from the fields of the GANs is very strong. Now we grow, we are many years later, and we also learned that the opposite is also possible. So now it started, in fact, when I was working on my car, Jalal said, why don't you make the deuterium directly in your tires? And in the beginning, I didn't understand what he meant. I thought I need to make it and put it in, put first the air out and then the materials cans in and pump it up again. Meanwhile, I understand what he meant. If we use our ability to create, we can use the fields to make matter. So last Sunday, I was in a big swimming pool with a lot of other people, and the sun was shining. It was really nice, and I was in the middle of the pool, and this came to my thought: if you can receive from the ganses in the water, then our soul can send the fields and make the GANs fields in the water. And you can call it elevating, or you can see it as a creation. The most important thing is that we spread from our souls. And it doesn't matter if it is in a pool, if it is in a mall or in a grocery store or at school or wherever we are, we can expand our soul and start creating. We can give from our soul. The important thing is, it is like with love. The more love you give, the more you receive. The more from your soul you give, the more you receive. So by giving, we learn and grow more and more. And I think that is very, very important. Our intentions, they make the field, and with our wishes, we form them. And this is, in fact, limitless. I understand it is very difficult to reach, but we have to learn step by step to learn about this process. Not one way, it is both ways. We're receiving fields, we're giving fields. And as Mr. Keshe says, it's not only on certain times. Now we have to do it all the time. So even in your daily life, when you're at work or you're in the kitchen cooking something or whatever, try to be conscious about that. Try to spread whatever you can. You know, the souls who are willing to receive, who are open enough to receive, they will. And for them, the process starts at that point that they also learn more, grow more. And this is like a chain reaction is going around the world. And we are very privileged to be in this position, to have the knowledge. We became the knowledge from Mr. Keshe, and now we spread it and give it further. So I think it's something that makes one real humble. And thank you both, Mashfek and Diana, for your part, because we learn from each other, and that is the most important. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Jaco, for your beautiful and kind words. So beautiful. And yes, thank you, Diane. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. And anybody, any beautiful soul want to share? Well, still can share your dream. Thank you. Welcome. So here is the Mojan. Well, we are all, in a way, a Mojan traveling through space. And I will say, is it Ghalib available? Or anybody wants to share their soul, form, or feeling, or emotion about Mojan, or about being you? Welcome, my dear one. My dear Rick, is there any question or anybody wants to share anything for now?
I think Galip is studying and Stefania is traveling.
Okay.
So, but the Mojan, the brotherhood, brothers and sisters we become by soul. That gives
Yes.
the connection that is necessary to change this world.
Yeah, of course, my dear, of course. So, yeah, I will. Well, I will say how.
Galib
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
joined us. Excuse me, sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, yes.
Galib just joined us.
Oh, welcome, my dear Ghalib. Welcome. This is.
Hello, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Shweta.
Please.
I was listening to you.
Oh,
so please go ahead if you like to say something.
No. First, you say. Your saying is so much beautiful. Please do.
Thank you for inviting me then and receiving me, Mark. I'm sure many knowledge seekers have been experiencing new ways of looking and learning with the field. I certainly have, especially last week. We had the blueprint days with the live simulations and the events, and of course, at the same time, we have a daily lives. I think one of the I want to keep it short, but this is not directly related to the Mojan teaching of Mr. Keshe specifically, but one of the things that I understood was to really implement the knowledge and of the plasma and the interaction with the kindness, what we learn together in the foundation, also to apply that in new ways to your own life. Because Mr. Keshe, he is our biggest source in the foundation now, and he has done his part and he's doing his part. And as he said, we're already finishing it, and now it's just the last, keeping it the few cherries on top. So that's what he's saying, and now everyone else has their part that they're contributing to, and my part is still developing and evolving. So for me, that's it. And I try to look at communication. I study that in other places as well outside of the foundation. So in a way, I think being a Mojan and putting yourself up as an ambassador from this planet to the entirety, that is part of the emotional aspect of the communication that we represent by just being that person to, as a hello gift, go to other places. And how we translate it to our knowledge of saying the words in our ways, in our languages, that is also the new knowledge, part of the new knowledge. And Yeah, that's what keeps me busy as well, a little bit. But I enjoy it to give in that way, and I'm looking forward to being able to also give more enhancement unit related Mojang updates in the future as well for myself. I know even listening to the recordings is a way to participate to it if your knowledge allows you to, I think, wants you to, if you like to. I can attest that I've experienced what some Brazilians have reported as well. So yeah, back to you, Shweta.
Thank you, my dear Galib. Thank you so much. So beautiful what you said, and I will say that there's the communication, as my experience, as a being. When I am growing up, I dreamed, as Diane dreamed. I dreamed of, I was walking in a very a slippery mountain, slippery mountain, everything slips out. And my clothes are torn, and I always see myself injured. And then my foot is filled with clay and mud, and I'm slipping, but gripping myself. I am going up to the mountain, taking help of the trees, trunks and all. And it was very painful for me to get into the mountain. And when I go to the mountain, I see this big palace, white palace, and the palace was so beautiful and glowing. And when I was so ashamed that I'm like this, my hair is torn out and everything is muddy. But then I just entered this palace like a thief, I felt I was like a thief. And when I just entered, I see the face of Alexander, statue of Alexander, face of Alexander, and I touched it like it doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong to this palace. And I just filled with this. Well, at that time, I filled with so much hatred that why this sculpture is here. This is not the man. This is someone else's palace, and like this is someone else was living there, and this is a fake statue. Like though I tried to push it, I tried to push the statue, and then what happened is I was trying to push the statue. Somebody pushed behind my back, and I just slipped in that ditch, in a ditch side. And when I was falling, somebody held my hand so firm that I was crying, and I didn't see the person, but the hand was so tight holding me. And then I said, "No, push me up, push me up. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing." And then this person pushed me up, and then I regained all the volume of energy I lost from eons, like that. And then I understand that why I was dreaming like this, and I think that we all as a soul being, well, came here on earth. Many says it is incarnated, many say came, many say experiences. And these are experiences, and we learn the truth, what we see now, the division of we don't see even the full map, or we don't know this is the full map or not, or the land is like that or not. But then we manifested like this. And I always thought that there was this oneness that was there. And these beautiful buildings and sculptures has been for always, for all, like you said, Galib, that you always listen to the knowledge seeker workshop again. And this is the joy you feel. You can have this knowledge accessible anytime, anywhere, anybody can do that. So this is the way we were before ancient, thousands of thousands years ago. These were structures that we were in. And yes, of course, the greed destroyed the humanity many times. So then what happened is the scientist and all that now has given us a trap experience, but we are getting out of it. And this was the pushing me out, as many of us has dreamed, as Diane has dreamed, that jump in, they go around the whole world and jump in the water. And his father was there. So there is, I will say, the vehicle of all, as we say, the spaceship is all. And we say like in ancient India, as we say, the Vaimanika Shastra, Vimana, that is also a science material. But then they said the whole world was gone black when the spaceship came. It was 3-storied, 4-storied, 5-storied. How can it be possible? So these are manifestation us all as a vehicle moving around. Maybe still we are doing that, but in a matter state. And I will say that this pushing me up, it was in this vehicle of this dimension of love. And I felt gaining the volume, the jewel of me from inside, So here is the experience as a Mojan I felt from when I was growing up. And as Moshfik said, that's when it spreads, like spraying, the soul spreads. Because of the conduct, I never told my children that you do that and this is, I performed, I conducted that way. They have seen me. They have seen me doing that. So they know mommy is like that, and sometimes they follow me, sometimes not. Sometimes they follow me. So, I mean, they understand me in a way. So here, what happened is I always, they call me, I'm a kind of not a social person. And here in India, we know discriminations and all. Yes. Anybody wants to say anything? Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Mehrnas?
Oh, it was just an open microphone. I closed it.
Oh. So then I was, the social discrimination, that pushing me up has created this volume inside me, the courage inside me that sum of all fears, I am in the horizon. What about you? Like that, And then I started performing, conducting the way I should as a human being. There was a very floody, there was a very floody day, and the whole street where I was living before, the whole street was flooded and the sewers are just jam-packed, as in the flooding do. That was a horrible rainy day, horrible, like the outburst of the cloud. And I have seen a spaceship, at that day. I don't know, there was a light. My son has also seen that. And then what happened is the next day, the sewers are jam-packed and everybody's calling here we say sweepers, and very discriminated here. They discriminate the sweepers as they are out, and there's a way out there, they can cross that, and a glass, a bottle or a cup is separate from them, for them. Here in India, this is a social stigma that we cannot even come close to a sweeper. It is a social stigma here. But then human to human, being to being, how could it be possible? But I also called a sweeper. I know him. He's an old man, a kind of old man. He came and he was it was raining and he came. I was also in a little maxi. I was also in a distress like that, and I welcomed him. And he opened the sewer and he gone inside the sewer. And I was so my heart is like pounding, because he was going as an old man. He has been to the sewer, and then the water is rushing, the whole running around him. And then what I did, suddenly I stepped in the water full of sewers, and I just hold him, because the water was coming up. I just hold him. I told him, Dada, I am pushing you out. So he said, no, I will clear. No, you don't have to clear. I'm pushing you out. And I pushed him out, and he came out. I given him fresh water to bath, a soap to bath, and then tea. He was shivering, tea and bread, and he blessed me. And I say, Dada, you go. I will come tomorrow if there is sunlight. So he said, okay. And he was so happy. And in the road, across the road, there was a neighbor. He saw this, my behavior, they say. And they say, Shweta, what you have done this is not good. You have touched that man, you have sitting with them, you have pushed him in the sewers. This is out of comprehension. So what I said is that if we don't treat human to his son was her name is Seema, her son was standing. I said, when we don't treat each other like human, we like living being, at least treat him like a living being. Don't you do that? That is the love we give to each other. There is no separation, I said. And she was just mumbling, no, and then the son said, Auntie, what are you saying? I said that every being is equal, my dear. Nobody is small, nobody is big. And the son understood. And now he's a grown-up boy. He always happy when he speak to me. And he was like touched by this. And he was a different person, as his father is not like that. He doesn't discriminate. He and his sister, both of them. And many children, when I was living there, the children accepted this volume of love. So here, the pushing me out had created this mojan inside me, and I was able to create this mojan in others' soul and heart. And the discrimination is still there, but many of us are awakening here, getting aware that the spirit is all the same. And then the soul is high. So we are all, in a way, equal. And here in Keshe Foundation, I found that peace from inside, that love for all beings, like the tractor, like the vehicle, Moshfik, like the Jacko said. So here, when we go to the mountain, we fell in love with the mountain. Why? There's something inside. There's something there, like that. So this is my part of sharing. Growing up in a conservative society where they dominate women, they dominate human being in the level of domination, I will say, still going on. Education doesn't change anything here. And I will say the educated people are more vulnerable. And when I go to the rural areas, they are less dominant than them, and they are less violent than them. So here, and they always feel protective and good and talk with the community always. And there is an answer always with the community, with a soul, an answer, do it like that. The people gathered together, and there is no police came here. No police has entered here for many years. Why? Because they have their own kind of answer of every matter. So this is the sharing I wanted to share, my dear. As a Moshan, as Khalif said, this is the communication we do always. So this is the way we are an enhancer. We can touch the spirit, touch the soul of other. Anyway, in this equality, in this oneness, And we are preparing and get prepared, I will say, for the oneness of the one planet, one race, one nation, for justice and world peace. The justice is you, starts from you. Is the thief who is taking 2 bread for his hungry family is a thief? No, no. He's not a thief. He is a caretaker. He's a caring being. The thieves are all around you, aren't we? See? So thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Is there anybody who wants to share anything about their feeling, their growing up, how they become the understandable in the level of understanding, how they become the lovers, and they are here? Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. I have a question. Mr. Keshe was referring the last Thursday teachings about this, what he did 2 hours before the show started. And for me, it was, I was sleeping then half an hour because I had night shift. And I woke up about 10:30 and my legs were shaking when I woke up. Before anything, I noticed, my goodness, what is this? I never had it in my life. And it was a real intense shaking, but only the lower part of my body, my legs. And my question to you all, those who don't have a microphone, they can raise their hand. Is there someone who noticed something that happened last Thursday, 2 hours before the show? Would be very interesting if someone can contribute to that. Don't hesitate.
This is Mostek. I will say something very specific. I was thinking about a very close friend of mine 2 hours before the meeting. And the thought came to me, it's about 2 hours, exactly 2 hours, that, you know, it was thinking of certain things, but that thought was interrupted for a little bit, is in the sense that I felt that this person's, my future experience with this friend of mine would benefit or would allow me to reach closer to the field of the creator. I mean, and that was like, it was not something I was thinking about. It was not at all related to, I was a bit startled. Why am I thinking this way? This is not something I naturally do. But anyway, so that's kind of like a bit alarming to me. But that was something very, very marked.
That could also be a part of creation.
Yeah, it is. But thing is that there was a very distinct interruption in the thought. It was all of a sudden you thinking about very sort of relatively normal things, and then and this. But anyway, I saw this was that was an strange experience.
Yeah, I think we have to get used to that more and more.
Actually, I want to bring up a point, is that as you may know, I've talked a little bit about it, you know, is that we do have the ability to communicate. Galib was mentioning about communication. Yes. So, you know, so the communication, sometimes, you know, we are doing our daily things and our mundane things, whatever else. But the thought of a person, an event comes in. Usually we don't think about these things. Why did I think about that person? We have some evidence of, like, we think about some person and then the phone rings and we see that person calling. We have many of us have this kind of, in fact, probably all of us at one point or another had this experience. So what happened is that the hello happened, and then we moved to the phone, the lower form of communication, or our current fashionable communication media. But is further communication possible? I have tested this. It is possible. So, things coming to our head, call it a random thought. Is it random? As we know plasma science now, and we do know that we can experiment and check and test. This we can test. And whether it goes another way, whether we can do some communication with somebody's thought coming to me. Often it's not difficult because the person you thought about may not be familiar with what we do with plasma science, but we can prearrange experiments. Actually, this is one of the things I did with Stefania about, the communication, and she talked about that she felt it, about connecting with the reactor, the enhancement unit in lens. So we do have the ability to do it. Some of it is confidence, and some of it is just understanding that it's possible. We do it, we have done it, but we don't think we did it. It's just a random thought, is it? So let's not go into this weird world of magic of random thoughts and things. We know the science. There is nothing too random about it. We know how to deal with it. We can experiment it. We can do, it's sort of like set up experiments, with someone, in Keshe Foundation, one of the knowledge seekers, and do these experiments. So Mr. Keshe is demonstrating it by, during the knowledge seekers workshop, and in this case, outside of the knowledge seekers workshop. And can we do it? We have done it. So it's not a matter of can we do it. Can we acknowledge it and make it better? Right now we are in that position.
And I think we should. Galip had a very good tip before you go to sleep, short before. Give your soul a way to talk to someone, to ask questions to someone, and it doesn't matter if it is a king, a priest, or a chief CEO of a company. It doesn't matter. If we do it in the right intention, then we will see results. And I'm very sure that there was a question in the German group about the free will, if it gets effect, if we use it this way. As long as we do it in the right intention, the right way, by thinking good, speaking good, and do good, this also functions. And we don't have to doubt about what will be done. If we do it with love, then it comes good. So I think it's up to us to start using it. The positive thing, if you do it before you go to sleep, is your soul isn't asleep, so your soul can do the work while your body is asleep. And I think that is a very good thing. I practice it every night.
I would like also to share with you, excuse me, did you finish?
Hello, Salomea. Yes, please.
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
At 8 o'clock, and we start at 10 o'clock Romanian time, I wake up very quickly and I start to work, to make a video about the communication skills of the water, to inform with our thought and emotions, and also to carry this as a conductor of our thought and emotion. And 2 hours, I just do this. I translate from English in Romanian, from Gaia information. I receive one email and I said, oh, it will be good for our community to translate Facebook. And I start to do this. And one, it is the power of the water and of our intentions and emotion to heal. And I choose the Emoto experiment, Japanese scientist, with water and the regular form when we have good intentions, and unregular and ugly forms when we have not so good intentions. And they put a necklace with water to a healer and measure the water before and the water after his procession and ceremony of healing. Maybe he was a shaman, I don't know. And his intention, he was not aware of this. He just was aware of his ceremony of healing at the intention level and emotion and prayer. I don't know what he performed. And at the end, they measure it. Because before we were not able to measure. Now, thanks to Masaru Emoto and maybe other people, we can measure the impact of our thought and emotion on the form of water, of this wave of form of water, I mean. Water also helps, well-informed water helps stem cells to grow speeder and to create born cells. So has different application in the healing process and also in the meditation process and prayers for peace at the international level, like we do with our guns. Yes, many other people perform with water. Many ceremonials in many traditions, in many religions, in many, how do you say, ceremonies, they use water, because water is a way of communication and of link between all of us, and has a lot of energy because of the hydrogen. And this oxygen just feed everybody. When we drink water, we take energy, and we, by respiration, by breathing, I mean, by breathing, we can heal ourselves, because we put in our what is the name? We put in our breathing system oxygen, and this is essential for human life and other beings' life. So why Mr. Keshe asked us to send him a glass of water? Because he needed it, and to send with good intention. And one day before, in Plasma Reactor group, I sent to Rick and to Mr. Keshe and Dean and all the people, I sent good intentions of healing. And I put my bottle of water. I didn't have a glass, I have a bottle. I didn't go in the kitchen to take one. And I put also my poetry, which is name, I am the Unicos. Unicos is me. And next day, Mr. Keshe, after 2 hours, just start to talk about writers and poets and about poetry that are also artists. And I said, look, he received my message through Swatter when I sent it, because he started to talk about this. We are many writers in many groups, and I suggested them to write about peace. I inform you, already I inform you. But I think that will be a good idea that we put together all writers and artists of the earth, because they have the power of creating and showing to people, all of us, we are creators. But they love more, and there is their profession. And we can not use, but they can serve, putting their talents to serve humanity in the way of getting sustainable peace on our soul and on our earth. Will be a good idea to create a site with many people, as much people we can gather, expressing their soul for peace by all this creation. Because our mission on this earth is to create. We are creators. And if we have this talent and this capacity, potential of creation as our creator give it to us, we can use it in a good way, respecting the ethos of the universe, creating good for the good of the people, for the benefit of all humanity as a whole, not only for our own interest. Many artists are altruists. I know many artists, and their heart are very loving. Unconditional love is at the core of many artists and of scientists. They never think about paying for their work. They work because they love. And many poets, they pay to print their books, and they never sell. They just offer. I have many colleagues and friends, and they do like this. They pay to publish their book, and after they offer as a gift to friends, to people which are interested on it. Look how altruistic they are. And maybe we can use this work and sell this work to offer to the humanity better technology for the future, for the development of plasma science. Because these artists are generous, and they never work for interest. I mean, I'm not talking about singers and actors, which are very rich. But I'm talking about writers and poets and maybe painters. They live in poverty, and after dying, their work are evaluated and had maybe they receive a prize on something like this. But many artists are so poor and struggling. So I start from what Mr. Keshe received from maybe from my soul when I sent to him a bottle of water. from
Thank
my
you,
soul.
Salomia.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Keshe was talking about the platform
Yeah.
that is to
Yes.
come, and everything has to do with elevation, and there are so many ways to elevate through energies direct, through the art. In fact, it is the fields that are transported through from soul to soul, and it is wonderful to do it that way too. So let's see forward to what is to come. Thank you very much, Salomia.
Yeah, much love to all of you. And if you know artists, maybe we can create as soon as possible this platform. I'll also invite them. For the moment, I'm restricted on Facebook because I did these days, I translated from English directly in Romanian, and maybe I breached some laws, but it was my wish to share with the people my knowledge and the knowledge of Gaia in Romanian for my Romanian friends, because I have many Romanian friends which are not able to read and understand English. So I did from my bottom of my heart. Anyway.
Unfortunately, there are copyright issues, so you can't just do that.
Yes.
That's why we don't play a lot of your things online.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Salomia. We have to keep going on with the workshop here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So is there someone else who experienced something about the experiment of Mr. Keshe? And if not, then we continue.
Jaco.
Yes, Shweta.
I don't know at that time, but there's an you know, when I was in my rubber slippers, and I was when I listened to the knowledge seeker workshop, I opened the bazooka, you know, to I am cooking and I can listen. And what I was experiencing is like my foot is slipping away from my slippers, as like, you know, as some earthquake, a shallow earthquake is going on, and the whole body is like waving in a way. Nobody can see that, but I can experience that. And the the heart is like pounding, thap 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 thap, and I can feel my muscle, like, you know, as in anatomy, when you see the muscle strains, this muscle is going to touch this muscle. I felt that, you know, that every muscle is just jumping, chop chop chop, like that, in a way. So in a way, I felt like I was moving away from my sandals, and the whole body is leaning, kind of that. So I asked my daughter that, is there any news of any earthquake? So she says, no, mother, not today, but it was 2 days earlier. There was a 4.5 near where we live, not near, in another region, but that is also 2-3 hours run from my town. So that was an experience, but I enjoyed the waviness, you know, Jaco. And of course, this the huge, I will say, very powerful energy interaction is going in the cosmos, and we are in it now as the transmutation is going on, and we can feel this trembling around. And many will suggest that you are sick and you are unhealthy and all, and but that is, you know, the getting away, the depleting of the energies. We don't understand like that, you know. If we are waving, that we say why we are waving, something is in our brain is going on, but the waviness doesn't continue. It comes back, it goes out, it comes back, like that. No, Jaco? This
yes,
is
I think we're at the beginning of a new time, and we will observe much more of this in the coming time, and that's why it's good to talk about it and exchange it. We can learn from each other also in this way.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's only the beginning.
Yes, of course.
Much more to come.
Yes, well, many of us can see in the sky, well, we say sky, but the neighborhood, I see like, you know, like bridges, huge bridges, something is connecting, and cities, of course. Well, I will say there are structures that glows, you know, they say spaceship, but these are cities or civilizations we can experience. And because of this interaction, huge interaction, as they are coming in front, we are experiencing also this change of even a physical way of feeling, as we have felt from eons, you know, the feeling, the body movement, the way we thought before. Now we have this waviness. Why is that like that, you know? And we are coming in the understanding of this level, that this is the waviness, and this is so beautiful to experience. And like that, you know, Jaco. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anybody else want to share anything? Yeah.
Hi, it's Diane again. I had an experience. I mean, it didn't have to do with Mr. Keshe's experiment, but it was about 4, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I was just in the kitchen, like doing just menial things, and all of a sudden a picture flashed in my head of my son and his friend, and then there was these other guys about the same age, and they were intimidating, and I just got this flash like, I was in trouble, and then it disappeared, and I like shook my head and carried on. And then I got a phone call from my son, and they were approached, and he was approached by these kids, and they were like harassing them and stuff. Anyways, my point was that's the line of communication, and I think it has to do with emotion. Okay, that's what I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Of course, it is the communication you have, and that is real. When what we had is from eons, that these are unreal things. These are you are dreamers, and this is not real. But really, these are real communications. As Moshfik said, real time. Well, I will say in no time. In a flash, you have seen that. I have also these flashes of future, of the past, like that. No, of course. Thank you, Diane, for sharing.
One thing we can understand from all this conversation is all the meaningful experiments happen in the kitchen. So if you want to do any of these experiments, go to the kitchen.
Yeah, of course. We are artists when we cook, you know, how much this, how much that, and the color of the vegetable and all. Yeah, of course. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. As a homemaker, as a housewife, I will say, we have to look all around, you know, and it starts with the cooking. It starts with what's up, what is cooking? Now, how will you cook? That is an art, a form, you know, you give your soul to the cooking, that this is the masala, this is the like that, and all the vegetables will be like they're in the vibrant colors and all. I take care of that, you know. Well, always a housewife do that. So thank you, Moshfik. Thank you so much. One thing I also want to mention, that in the One City One Center, I didn't able to mention, but here I will mention that please go to the website, Beautiful Souls. There's a donation page, and this is the time of like giving with your kind heart in peaceful way. You can donate to make way for others. I mean, those who don't have that ability. The door will be open in front of them, you know, this ability will come. Well, it is coming anyway, but if you be a participant, a giver, then the unicorns will understand that in a way. So be in the kindness, go to the donation page of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, donate with your kind heart, my beautiful soul. This is the time. This is the time and the only time. So, and also there's a sales email about all the products of this One City, One Center products, and you can have these products and paintings and go to the email and email the our Universal Council from Bulgaria, Krasimir, and he will answer you what is your well need, and you will get it in a way. And for now, the introduction is money, and then it is overlapped and by love. Thank you. Thank you. Please go to the donation page, my dear. Thank you.
We have Dean with a hand up here. Dean Hansen.
Oh, thank you.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. Peace. This is Dean from Oklahoma, United States. And I've been a knowledge seeker almost 10 years. And I am so excited that the art and the writing and the sculpture and everything is being opened through the Institute, bringing the artists forward, because we're part of the avant-garde that brings the future into the present, as well as that of the teachings of the plasma science. And being an artist and having had almost 10 years of study as I've been creating works, thousands of them, I'm just thrilled that this opening is coming for the artists, the creators, the outliers, to be able to give something that is substantial out of our souls back in through that which for me gave me a great knowledge of my soul. And for this opening, I am appreciative, and I just want to give thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Dean. Salam, namaste, salute, beautiful soul. Thank you for your kind words and lovely words. Thank you. Rick, thank you, Dean, always. Rick, if there is no sharing for more, we can go to the next slide. Here, bring the needs and wishes from your community to the universal soul as one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. Please bring your needs and wishes, my beautiful souls. Welcome. Deep, deep silence. so deep. But
find the attendees here, they can put their hands up.
Yeah.
Some of them that don't have their microphones available, they can put their hands up and their microphone will be available to ask a question or bring a need or wish to the Universal Council here. Well, it's like you say, Sweta,
Yes.
Silent.
They're all in love. But
We do it on the soul level.
Oh yes, of
This
course.
is golden.
But
The wish is peace, peace, justice, and love. All harmony for the all beings at the earth and at the universe. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Really,
We are
really.
present.
We are present, of course. I am, and we are present. So, I love your silence, my dear. Feel the love. Feel the love, the volume of the love from within you. Thank you. So, thank you, Lisbeth. Thank you, Jaco. Thank you, my dear Rick, for always all the love to you. So, we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick. Here, the key of a being, natural. We are here to serve, not to be served. The Universal Council. Thank you. Thank you, Universal Souls. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam to the beautiful and beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute. Welcome. This is Shweta Anwar, UC Hindi language, and salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Sweta, and thank you to all the members of the Universal Council and others who participated in today's workshop. I think we're wrapping up now. This has been the 244th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice here on Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And we have Marie's TV Galactica, I believe, is coming up today at 10 p.m. Central European Time. And that's available at the TV Galactica YouTube channel and TV Galactica Facebook for getting those links. And we also have the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group is the next public teaching workshop that comes up on Wednesday, October 19th, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is the same as 10 p.m. today on Tuesday, October 18th in Pacific Time. Anything else I'm forgetting? Is there any other announcements?
Well, the Reactor group, you have said that?
Yes.
Oh,
covered that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so people are welcome to attend the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group on that Wednesday morning, Central European Time. And we cover a number of topics, and whatever you're interested in, we can turn it into plasma. And it's for young and old, doesn't matter.
Young and old, yes.
We'll plasmasize it, whatever it is, whatever topic you bring up, and whatever interest you may have, we will plasmasize it.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to end with our usual.
Well,
keep Shweta happy and dancing.
Dancing in the silence of love, we are dancing. Thank you. Clap, clap, and dance. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls.
Thank you, Sweta. All right, we'll go out with some music here, and we'll see you all in the next public teaching workshop or somewhere else, perhaps. Bye for now.